Create a simulation in the Fracture Modifier build of Blender. Select the fractured object and click on Inner Smoke. Select the fracturing object and click on Create Brush. Now you have smoke added to the simulation. Name the smoke cache and click on Bake. Turn on External and turn off Use Light Path. Click on the File Path icon. Open the cache folder and click Accept. Now the smoke cache is loaded from disk. Save the blend file and export it as well as an Alembic file. Import the Alembic file in Blender 2.8. Append the smoke domain from the blend file that you saved. Now you have your simulation and smoke in Blender 2.8. Hover the mouse cursor over a face and press L to select connected faces. Or with one or more faces selected, press Ctrl L to select connected faces. Procedural textures are a great way to add detail to your objects. To get started, add a bump map, color ramp and noise texture to the material. To change the noise appearance, experiment with its values. The color ramp gives us extra control over the noise texture. There are several different noise textures available. To mix them for even crazier results, use a Mix RGB node. Connecting nodes is easy. Just drag one socket to the next. Node trees can get kinda crazy though. Using the Reroute Node, we can at least connect the nodes more efficiently. Hold Shift and drag the right mouse button across a node connection. Now drag a new connection. You can add a Reroute Node just to create an angle in the connection. Press G to move the Reroute Node. Note by @LateAsUsual, @AbduBouam and @Topkum on Twitter. Thanks guys! Let's say you've downloaded this model somewhere. When you go to edit mode, you discover that it's all triangles. We can fix that quickly by pressing Alt-J in edit mode. Now it's all quads. Whew! You can also do this through the face menu. Just make sure the faces are all selected. Let's say you want to slide this cube along the surface of this other cube. Manually rotating one cube to match the other is impractical. So is moving it along the surface accurately. For this, you can create a custom transform orientation. In edit mode, select a face as the basis of the orientation. In the Transform Orientations menu, click on the plus icon. Give your new transform orientation a name, or have the Blender community do it for you. You can align the cube's rotation to the other cube now, by going to Object, Transform, Align to Transform Orientation. Pressing G and then X or Y will move it along the face surface. Bonus tip, press G and then Shift Z to exclude the Z axis. What if you want to copy the rotation of one object to another object? Go to Preferences and find the Copy Attributes add-on. Enable the add-on and close Preferences. Now select the object that you want to rotate, then select the object from which you want to copy the rotation. Press Ctrl C and choose Copy Rotation. Now both objects are rotated in the same way. To copy animation from one object to another, select the object you want to animate, then select the object you want to copy animation from. Now press Ctrl L and choose Animation Data. As the animation data is now linked, changing the animation on one object also changes the animation on the other. To prevent this, Make the object single user. Go to Object, Relations, Make Single User, Object Animation, All. Now you can edit the animation of each object independently. You can even do this with armatures, as long as they are the same. Create a plane. Set it to Shade Smooth. In Edit mode, rotate the plane. Subdivide it a few times. Select the top row of vertices and add them to a vertex group. Create a basis shape key and create another shape key. Set the shape key value to 1 and scale the top vertices down. Now set a key at the first frame on the timeline for value 0. Set a key at a later frame on the timeline for value 1. Now add a cloth sim. Under Shape, add the vertex group to the pin group. This will make sure the cloth doesn't fall down. Turn on self collisions so the cloth doesn't clip through itself. Then play the simulation. So you've created a curtain with the cloth simulation, and now you want to turn it into a regular polygonal mesh. Pick the frame of the simulation you like best, create a new shape key from the mix, delete the old shape keys and then the mix. Finally press Apply on the cloth modifier. And there you go, a regular old-fashioned polygonal mesh, just like your grandmother used to make. A holdout is an object that acts like a mask, creating transparency. Select the object you want to use and press M to add it to a collection. Go to the filter icon in the outliner and make the holdout icon visible. Then click on the holdout icon for the collection you want to use as a mask. It doesn't work until you turn on transparent under the film options. Here we see the result in the Eevee render. It works the same in Cycles. Support loops are a fundamental part of polygonal modeling. We can see what it does more clearly by adding a subdiv modifier to the object. Add a loop cut with the shortcut Ctrl-R. Left click to add the loop cut, then move it to where you want. Left click again to confirm the position. The closer the loop cut gets to the edge, the sharper that edge will be. To change the position of the loop cut again, select it by double clicking on it, then press G twice to move it. Left click to confirm the new position. There are other, more non-destructive ways to create sharp edges, like creasing or the bevel modifier. The benefit of support loops is that the model will look the same if you export it to other software. The cloth brush is an amazing new feature available from a special build of Blender 2.83 Alpha. You can download it now from GraphicAll. Unpack the file with 7-zip and double-click on the Blender.exe file to launch it. Be careful using experimental versions of Blender for serious work, as it may crash. Let's try it out on this plane. Add some subdivisions, turn on Shade Smooth. Go to the sculpting layout and turn off symmetry. Select the None brush, there's no icon yet for this brush. You may need to change the cloth mass value to something like 0.1. And now you can just drag and see the magic happen. Thanks to Pablo de Barro for making his amazing sculpting brush available to everybody. If you want the camera to match what you see in the viewport, press Alt-Ctrl-0. This will move the camera to match what you are seeing in the viewport. To change the active camera, select the camera you want and press Ctrl-0. When you render, it will be what the active camera sees. Check the box next to Lock Camera to View to be able to move the camera view much like the viewport. This is a quick and familiar way to reposition the camera. You can add this checkbox to the quick favorites for easy access. I recommend adding a subdiv modifier on top, just to smooth everything out a bit more. The mask brush creates a pinned area. Keep in mind, modifiers hide the mask, so turn them off for a moment. With the mask and expand function of the cloth brush, you can do stuff like this. The plane force falloff seems to get a better result in this case. Holding shift smooths out areas where needed. Pinch point works well together with plane force falloff to create this kind of pinched cloth. Set the cloth mass lower or the strength higher. I like to use 0.1 for the cloth mass and 1 for the strength. Press F to change the radius quickly. You can also use the cloth brush on a shape key, so you can kind of animate it. If you don't know where to get this build of Blender or how to install it, watch my previous tutorial on installing the cloth brush build.